Hey, heart seekers, welcome to the Hearts Hello Show, where our hearts are the foundation of our well being and happiness. I am your host, Kiana Telena. In this episode, we are going to be dealing with the emotions that we have as we are sitting in our pause. As I shared with you all last week's episode, we have started season 2, and in season 2, we are going to be doing some reflecting in our pause and how our pause can push us to purpose. And I oftentimes think that so many of us want to rush through this season that we miss the opportunity to actually sit with ourselves, question why we are here, what is it that we need to learn from being here, be okay with being here, and then take some time to figure out who we are and what purpose we have to be served and to serve others on this earth. And so in this episode, we are going to deal with the emotions that happen as we are in a pause. As I shared, most times being in a pause, it can be uncomfortable, depending on why you are in this space. If you are grieving from a loss of a loved one, if you have lost a job, if you are struggling financially, if you are having relationship issues, there are various reasons why you are in a pause in your life. But I also don't want you to feel like being in a pause is a bad thing. I think that we all should take time throughout our day, throughout our week, throughout our month to sit still enough so that we have this time to be able to reflect and figure out what exactly is it that we need to be doing in this season of our lives. Just like we have 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. Each season, there's something different going on in the world. Each season, there's something different going on with our weather. And so I think that we need to hone in on what season we are in and be okay with being in a pause. And so I oftentimes hear people say, well, I don't know what to do in a pause. I feel like I have to just keep doing more so that I can push through. But I need you to take some time to feel the feeling. I need you to figure out why you're feeling the way that you feel and to sit in that, but not allow those emotions to be able to control you. It's oftentimes I hear people, especially women, who will say, oh, when it's that time of the month, I am just this way. No, you're not just this way. Yes, we have emotions. Yes, we have hormones and all of these things going on with our body. But when you have determined in your mind that you are going to allow this time of the month to control how you deal with people, how you react to situations, how you allow your mouth to get real loose, I don't think that that's you controlling you. I think that in that time, you are allowing something else to control you. And so I want us to get to a place where we are controlling how we feel and recognizing why we are feeling the way that we feel. And it's okay to feel that way. So I want you to be able to take some time today, tomorrow, within this week to really sit down, close your eyes, and go inward and figure out how you are feeling. Just how are you feeling? And you hear people will say, well, how are you? Most time people will say, oh, I'm good, I'm great, I'm well, whatever that may be. But how you are feeling is a different question. So I need you to, one, identify the emotion. Two, acknowledge its presence and don't judge yourself for having it. And then feel it. I need you to be able to breathe through it, journal about it, and express it creatively. If it's just you writing it out, or if you're having a whole conversation with yourself, or you may have someone who you trust enough to be able to share your feelings with. And so I need you to be able to do those: one, identify; two, acknowledge; three, feel; and then four, I need you to be able to choose your response. I need you to decide how you want to act based on what you have learned from your emotions. So that's one of the things that I want us to get to a place where we can, one, recognize where we are so that we know how we need to pause and reflect in these moments. And then I need us to take some time to name the feelings. See, take some time to try to label the emotions that you are experiencing. So for some people, it could be joy that may be exhibited with happiness and contentment. Sadness, it could be sorrow, disappointment, or grief. Anger, it could be frustration, irritation, rage. Fear could be anxiety, worry, dread. Surprise, it could be shock, astonishment, or amazement. But I think that you have to be able to drill down to what the emotion is that you're feeling and what triggered that feeling. So, a couple of questions that you can ask yourself to explore your emotional state is going to be: what am I feeling right now? When did I notice this feeling? And what triggered this emotion? So, it's going to take you to have to sit still in this pause for you to answer those questions. And you're going to have to really take some time to journal so that you can write out your emotions to gain some clarity. And it could be just from a simple prompt of, today I am feeling. And let your thoughts flow. Can I just tell you how many times I have just been in a moment where I may be okay, laughing and joking one moment, and then the next moment I could be crying. I don't know what happened in between that, but what I would do is, one, I would feel the feeling. But then I would begin to journal. I would just begin to write out whatever may be on my heart. And it may seem daunting at first because it's like you're trying to pull straws and figure out what exactly it is that you need to write down. But the longer you stay in that moment of being still, the longer you stay in that state of, I need to figure out why I'm feeling this way, the more your heart will begin to open up and your pen will begin to flow. Your pen will begin to write a beautiful masterpiece to you about how you are feeling and why you are feeling that way. So in this episode, it's simple. I need you to sit with you. I know that some of you all have seen the movie where they're talking about feelings. And I wish that when I was growing up, we had movies like that where our parents could have conversations with us about how we were feeling. And I believe that it's a great depiction of how we have to be able to deal with those traumas in our lives because they're there. They have these core memories that are buried down on the inside of us that we kind of just sweep under the rug, put into a closet, and we act as if they do not exist. But they go with us each and every day, everywhere we are, how we are dealing with people. Deep down, ingrained in us is this core memory. And so I need us to get to a space where we are recognizing our emotions, dealing with our emotions, and not allowing our emotions to control us. So we have some work to do. I need us to just get to that place where we are understanding and considering the context of how we got here and why we are in this pause. And it can provide us with some clues about why we are feeling the way that we're feeling. And as I shared, just being able to journal and write down your emotions. In addition to checking your patterns, notice if the emotion that is reoccurring follows after a pattern of situations. That can also help you in identifying whatever that underlying emotional trigger may be. And then, guess what? You can ask people, hey, have you noticed anything different in me? Only going to those people who you trust, your friends, your coach, your therapist, who can provide you with a perspective and to really help you pinpoint your emotions. But then they also should be able to see a difference in you. So when something may come up, when they are used to seeing you react this way and they see you react another way, that's growth. You should be able to ask people, or you may be able to see people that will come up to you and say, you know what, I've noticed something different about you. Because now you are in control of the emotions. You are now understanding why you do what you do. Because you have done the internal work, the inward work that is necessary and needed for this outward appearance that everyone is trying to portray as if everything is okay when everything is not. So we're all about authenticity. We're all about integrity. We're all about being the best version of ourselves. And as we are striving to be the best version of ourselves, we have to feel the feel. We have to be okay with who we are. And that also means that when someone asks us how we are feeling, we don't have to dump on them, but we also do not have to say that we are okay when we are not okay. It's okay to not be okay. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole and explain why you are just not feeling it today, but you can let someone know, hey, today is just not a great day. And you can leave it at that. But let's get to a place where we are being honest with others, but more importantly, we are being honest with ourselves. And so I'm hoping that you have gotten some information from this episode today, because I think that it's going to be important as we sit in our stillness, as we sit in our pause, as we focus in on being the best version of ourselves. And that means being able to control and understand our emotions. And so I just want to thank you again for joining me for another adventure of the Hearts Hello Show. We're together. We embrace vulnerability. We learn from each other and we spread love, one heartfelt hello at a time.